Hey, good morning, lovely ladies and gentlemen. Steve Collins coming to you from beautiful Colorado, the second most powerful, passionate, and purposeful coach and speaker in the world. This is fascinating. So, we had the privilege of experiencing a real life Karen situation, like a totally real, legit Karen situation. So, for those of you that do not know what that is, maybe if you're my age group or older, the idea is a Karen. I have 7 kids, so the idea of a Karen is typically somebody who is uptight and like out of control and just loses their mind, screaming and yelling and hollering. Well, she picked the wrong one of my kids to have a conversation with. She picked Ella. And if y'all know Ella got the fire of me and Angela and the Holy Ghost. And this woman, bless her heart, she don't know what happens. You do not mess with Texas. So I wanted to tell you the privilege of this Karen situation, the beauty of this thing. So we are in an Airbnb. I'll show you real quick what's back there behind us, if y'all can see that. See them mountains? Isn't that pretty? That's pretty stuff. Well, we're at an Airbnb, and apparently the next door neighbor does not like the fact that the person chose to turn their home into an Airbnb. So when we arrived and we were unloading, my daughter Gabriella was out there, and the next thing we heard was an escalating conversation. And my sons went outside, and of course my younger guys start filming. Apparently they went TikTok viral with this thing. But this woman was losing her ever-loving mind. I can't believe people are here. What are you guys doing here from Texas? We don't want you guys here in the neighborhood. We don't want you here. You don't belong here. Like tripping. And of course, if y'all know Ella, she is one half spiritual, one half Xena warrior princess. And she will cut you. And she confronted Ella. Oh man, and Ella said some stuff, and well, bless Ella's heart. She's working on her flesh just like we are. And she just goes, okay, Karen. Okay, Karen. She's like, just calm down. This is our vacation. And what you got going on doesn't have anything to do with us. Okay? Because we're going to have a good time. We're going to enjoy ourselves. We're going to love being here in Colorado. We're just going to have a good time. She turns around, walks up, which of course drove Karen a little bit more nuts. All right? So we come inside, and here's the point of my story. I sat my kids down because they started getting riled up, especially the brothers. The brothers will fight for their sisters. And there was a young guy, probably about my son's age. Well, that he doesn't realize my son, as skinny as he is like won a lot of medals for Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and mixed martial arts. So like, poor kid. I mean, we would have wound up in jail if somebody would have tried something crazy with us. You know what I'm saying? Because AJ will take you out. Kid didn't know that. So AJ gets swole up, Josh and Christian, everybody starts getting riled up, and I say, come on, troops, come back into the house. We need to come into the house and have a conversation about this. They were sitting down, and I said, listen, everything we talk about, this is a perfect gift. We are the perfect people to be next door to Karen. We're the perfect family because we know what to do and we know how to do it. What do I simply mean by that? I told the kids, I said, anybody who's in Karen mode, first of all, they're a very unhappy person. And more than likely, they have been hurt in one way or another. And they just got stuff going on in their head. So I said, guys, I've been in real estate 23 years. Let me just share with you a little bit. Let me give you some insight into that episode. The insight is this, is that when something is disrupted, especially in a really nice community like this, where, you look out your back porch and let's see if you can see it there. See, you look out your window and there's the mountains right there. In a community like this, for someone to have turned a place into an Airbnb, they may have had bad experience. They may have had a bad experience with people who were not respectful, or who maybe were loud, or who did not show honor to the people that are around them. And I said, so she shows up with her attitude, right, kids? I said, but see, we're the thermostats. We are not the thermometers. We do not allow a toxic Karen to have permission to take our joy. Our joy is precious. Our joy is something that the world didn't give to us, and so the world can't take it away. We have a joy inside of us that causes us to rejoice in all circumstances. And I said, so we have the opportunity to give her what she wants, which is to react to her toxicity and get engaged in that drama, or to maintain ourselves in such a manner that says, what you got going on doesn't have anything to do with us, and we're not going to let it affect us. You are not going to ruin our stay. You're not going to ruin our vacation. You're not going to even ruin our moment. You do not have permission, Karen, to rob me and my family of our joy and the pleasure of our trip and our time together. We are not going to give you permission to be drawn into that, and we're not going to react to how you spoke to us. Now, clearly Ella jumped all up in her business mode, right? Here's what the resulting conversation was. I said, kids, how many of you want to give Karen control over and your joy and your peace? And they said, none. And I said, then we let it go. Well, Dad, what if she says something else? I said, I hope she says something else, because when I go out there, I'll say a little something. Well, Dad, I thought you said not say something. I said, no. I know what to say. So they said, all right, Dad. So we go outside because we're leaving. So Karen comes back out on our porch and starts hollering at me, and I'm ready for Karen. And I say, you know what? I've been in real estate 23 years. I can totally understand the concerns that you have. You sound very, very frustrated. It seems to me like you might have had a really bad experience or several bad experiences with people who are maybe not respectful. But let me share one thing with you. We're the family you want next to you. We're the family you want next to you. Do you know why? Because I have taught my kids respect. I've taught my kids honor. I've taught my kids to walk in the Christian faith. And she looks at Elle and she goes, well, not that one right there. She's like a cafeteria Christian that just took her pieces. I said, no, ma'am. I said, she's a Christian. I didn't say she's a doormat. You get up in her face, she's going to give you some back because she's not a doormat. Just because you have faith doesn't mean you can't defend yourself when somebody attacks you, which you did. You attacked and harassed my daughter. And you're lucky all she did was raise her voice, because you don't know who you messed with right here. And I am going to tell you this. We are the people you want next door to you at an Airbnb, because we know how to be respectful. We know how to be honorable. We're going to hike during the day. We're going to crash out at night. And you don't even know who's next door to you. I said, we are blessed to be a blessing. I said, we are blessed everywhere we go. We're blessed in the city and blessed in the field. We're blessed when we come. We're blessed when we go. We're above only and not beneath, the head and not the tail. You don't even know who's next to you. But I'm going to tell you this, that the issue you have has nothing to do with us. So I'm going to respectfully ask you to step off, and me and my family are going to have a wonderful trip. And she looked at me, didn't know what to say, and she walked back into her house. She has not been an issue ever since. So you see, the issue with Karens is this. A Karen will draw you into their toxicity. A Karen will draw you into their drama. A Karen will pull you in and attempt to get their sludge on you. You don't have to give in to that. Step number one is you recognize that Karen, that's a hurt person. Something happened. Karen's hurt. Karen's been hurt. Karen's been messed up. There's something going on in her head, these Karens, all right, that causes them to act out in such a way that really desperately wants to engage in messing you up and getting you engaged in the drama. But you don't have to. You can be a thermostat and not a thermometer. Like I taught the kids, I said, we don't have to react to this. The number one thing we can do, number one, is every day we're going to pray for Karen, okay? We're just going to pray for her and say, Lord, bless her, because she's got a lot going on. Clearly, she doesn't even know how to handle her own business. And how miserable is this? She's sitting in probably a $2 million house with a beautiful view of these freaking mountains right outside the front door. You see those, man? Like, it's beautiful. She's probably sitting in a $2 million house. And she's all jacked up, man. I said, man, this girl's been hurt. This woman's been hurt. So we need to remember, guys, that if she wasn't hurting like that, it would be different. And I'm even toying with leaving her a note that says, hey, just want to give you a heads up. You can turn this whole thing around if you want to. And here's what I mean by that. Go get you a $10 bottle of wine or something and a cute little card. And every time you see an Airbnb guest show up here, you come over to the front door and you say, hey, my name's Karen. I live next door. Here's a bottle of wine for you guys. Here's a list of some neat places to stay or things to do. If you guys need anything, you just ask us. We're the neighbors next door. And you just watch what a great experience they will have and you will have. And you might meet some people that you might really enjoy. And because you stepped forward in kindness, Karen, you will have people who want to reciprocate kindness to you. I was going to leave her the book, How to Win Friends and Influence People, but Gabriella said that would be petty. She's probably right. I ain't saying I still don't feel like, going over there and starting some shish. I'm just saying how we feel and how we would like to react is an option. We have the opportunity to choose, though, how to respond. And if you first recognize that Karens are hurt people, and Karens want to engage in drama, then you can come from compassion and just go, that's really sad. Sitting over here in a $2 million house with the most beautiful view and all jacked up and crazy and yelling at people. You know what I'm saying? That's really sad. Number two, you can pray for them Karens because only God can touch their hearts and they need it for sure. And then number three, you recognize you have the power to be a thermostat and not a thermometer. How sad is it to live a life where your greatest day or greatest moment or maybe vacation can be influenced by another person outside of your control and rob you of joy? How horrible would that be? You got to get a hold of that if you haven't learned how to get a hold of that. You have the ability to choose joy. It is a choice. She ain't gonna bother me at all. We're gonna have a great time. And by the grace of God, the kids all rallied around it. They all got together. And AJ says, but if that boy comes over here, I'm gonna take him. I said, brother AJ, if that boy comes at you, you will choke him out and we'll be fine. We'll be fine, all right? But he ain't gonna come after you because we're praying for them. And when we're praying for them, now get this, y'all. I haven't taught my kids all this yet, so hopefully they won't watch this. When you pray, it doesn't necessarily even change those other people. When you pray, it changes your heart towards other people. Get that. When you're praying, Lord, for this Karen, please help her because she is obviously hurt. He changes the way you see Karen because you show up with compassion instead of judgment, curiosity instead of judgment. You see what I'm saying? So real life Karen situation, Ella comes to me and she goes, well, Dad, the universe gave me a test and I did not pass it. I said, girl, yes, you did. You passed it in my eyes because somebody comes against you. You are not a doormat because you're a spiritual woman. You put that woman in her place and you told her what was up because you knew she was violating her communication with you. I said, so I'm proud of you. So, and I told Karen that too. I said, I am proud of the way my daughter responded because she's not a doormat. And when somebody confronts or harasses her, you better believe this girl's going to step up. That's how I raised her. I said, but you don't even know we're the perfect people to have next door because we are blessed. And we're going to be a blessing. And what do you go? What do you know? No more Karen issues. So when you come in contact with these Karens, please don't give them the permission to steal your joy. Just don't do it. It's not worth it. This joy you have, I hope the world didn't give it to you, so don't let the world take it away. Dealing with Karens, understanding, compassion, prayer. Bless them. Don't curse them. Bless them. They're hurting. And choose to be the thermostat and not the thermometer. Ladies and gentlemen, when you get a hold of that type of peace that no one else can mess with, maybe it'll mess with you for a minute, maybe it'll put a chink in your armor. Yeah, did I want to drop a napalm bomb there long? Of course I did. The feelings, but that ain't how I'm going to show up because that's not who I am. You have the power to be the thermostat and not the thermometer. I hope if you encounter a Karen, you'll remember this. Y'all have an awesome Monday.